A warm welcome to all our parents and caregivers. I thought I'd do my newsletter online for week 5 of term 3. Obviously, I'd like to start by thanking everyone for their cooperation last week as the boys moved to online learning for the week. Obviously, there was some lack of connection that some of our boys had, but by and large the experience was extremely positive from what I'm hearing from most of our boys, and certainly the staff were ready to go as of Monday, and I'm very appreciative of the staff work that was done prior to the lockdown as well. You would be aware that we've returned to school with new restrictions, mainly around the wearing of face masks, and those restrictions will finish on Sunday the 22nd of August at about 4 p.m, we hope, subject to further advice. So at this school we've asked the grade 5s and 6s to wear them if possible as well, and one of the reasons was because there is a lot of contact between older boys and younger boys in the playground at morning teas, lunch times, etc. Also had a couple of inquiries about whether face masks are mandatory. Obviously they're not in primary, but we're asking boys to do it for the protection of them in particular, as well as their colleagues and students. I had a number of inquiries about the show holiday. Unfortunately, I don't make that decision when the show holiday will be. The Premier needs to take that to the Parliament. So as soon as we know that, we'll make an announcement around the second day that we normally have as a holiday as well at St Lawrence's. Obviously, our sports carnival was cancelled because of that. Unfortunately, we won't be able to have the same format in the near future, but the pastoral team's looking at what might be able to happen in that space into the future. We also made a decision to cancel Walkathon. Obviously, we couldn't have over 2,000 people walking through the centre of Southbank and through town under these conditions. So we've decided to go to a virtual walkathon, similar to what happened last year in 2020, and that will rely on families walking themselves and perhaps videoing and sending in video of them walking through their local neighbourhood. Last year we still raised significant funds for Walkathon through that process. Announcement about that particular time frame will come next week. I'd like to wish all the Year 12 boys exams. With our online learning last week, our seniors had a lot of assessment planned for their internal assessment 3. Now that needs to be completed and sent in by August 20, so it's a very tight timeline, and boys today and throughout the week have been working on their assessment in certain areas. So we wish them well and we hope they give of their best and get great results. I'd like to also wish the Year 11s well as they go through their leadership process this term. As you would know, part of the process is a handover next term from the incoming 12s with the outgoing 12s. The 11 leadership process should culminate with the Year 11 leadership camp, which is still going ahead as I speak, subject to government advice, of course. My congratulations also go to those families of Year 9 that were involved in the subject selection this week. Now, apologies for some hiccups at the start, but the process went quite well in the end. It's very important that those decisions are really thought out with families discussing options for Year 10. You would be aware at St Lawrence's we moved to a senior style of learning in Year 10 at this school, therefore those Year 10 decisions are very, very important. So I wish you well in the coming weeks with those decisions, and I think all parents have already got those subject selection forms in. Earlier in the week we had the Year 7 subject selection open as well, and most of those are coming in as I speak, and I ask that you give those your immediate attention so they're completed by next week at the latest. Enrolments. At the moment, primary staff are enrolling for Year 5 2023. So if you have a son that's in that cohort, can you make sure the enrolment application is in? Because there's a large number every year of people who forget to meet the deadline. So I ask, if you are trying to enrol your son for Year 5 2023, that those applications should be in now. And we are finalising Year 7 2023 as well this term, and sending out final offers for Year 7 2023. For next year in Year 7 we have a full book. But I do take expressions of interest should we have anyone pull out, and we often do. I haven't announced to the community that I'm taking leave effective Monday. This is planned leave, and it's called sabbatical leave, which I applied for about this time last year. Now, originally I was travelling to England, so I cancelled my leave. I won't be going too far out of this particular area, but I'm taking the 5 weeks leave, and Mr Ben Lowry will be the deputy principal, moving from deputy principal. Mr Cameron Wigan will go into the deputy role from the primary school, and Miss Katie Jordan will be head of primary and through till the start of next term. So the leave was very much planned. I didn't think I was able to take it, but I'm delighted I can. And I wish you well through to the remainder of the term and obviously through to the start of next term, particularly for our senior boys. Enjoy the rest of the term.